think is a unique challenge that you're seeing in the environment when it comes to cyber risk and resilience? Especially resilience. Like, frankly, I can tell you, I hear that word used a lot, and sometimes I think it doesn't get the proper description that it deserves. So, what can you speak about there?
Yeah, well, I think the aviation sector is very special in that regard because in aviation, as passengers, but also from a safety perspective, we really anticipate very little tolerance for disruption during operations. So I think that what makes aviation special for this is that on a from a safety perspective, there are already many crisis protocols to ensure that operations run securely and safely. But what cyber brings in the mix for aviation is that any incident that happens has a real world effect on a baggage carrier, on ensuring that the catering would be on time, on ensuring that the availability and the integrity of the systems that pilots rely on are secure. So any disruption or delay or outage has a real physical impact as well. And I think that's also the unique challenge for the aviation industry, that it's not just a software app that doesn't work anymore, but actually customers will not be able to fly because there's no room for mistakes in the aviation sector.
Yeah, well said. Luke, did you have anything to add there?
Yeah, you mentioned that you hear the word resilience all the time, right? And if you look at what do we talk about when we say the term resilience, the ability to adapt and bounce back from disruption. And I think, previously disruption was maybe considered something slightly small and your preparations were tweaking a few things to try and adapt and change for that. But with cyber, and particularly the level of sophistication that we're seeing in attacks at the minute and the frequency of attacks, that level of disruption is quite extreme. So your ability to bounce back needs to be prepared for those fairly extreme, very disruptive scenarios. And in fact, I've just come back from the UK cyber conference, Cyber UK, and I think that was a lot of the messages that were being given by the National Cybersecurity Centre there and some of the kind of leaders in this space, that our imagination needs to go that step further and prepare for that real extreme kind of level scenario. And I think that's one of the interesting components of it now.